being dominated by G7 plus grouping and their agenda, and they do not want G20.
Good evening, this is Brastax. I'm Zaka Jacob. The Tamil Nadu Chief Minister's son and Minister in the Cabinet, Udhyanidhi Stalin, is under fire for comparing Sanatan Dharma to dengue and mosquitoes and corona. He says it needs to be eradicated, not just opposed. But what exactly is Sanatan Dharma? It simply means eternal law or eternal philosophy, if you will. It is not about the division of people basis what they do, basis where they were born and to who they were born, or about a division of labor, as it were. It is simply a universal philosophy. It's about the human consciousness meeting with the universal consciousness. The BJP, of course, is taking Udhyanidhi Stalin to the shredders, saying that this is utter disrespect to Hinduism and to practitioners of the Hindu faith. Now, it is also divided the India alliance, with clearly the Congress backing Udhyanidhi Stalin's controversial comments, but at the same time, the likes of Shiv Sena and Trinamool Congress, in fact, Mamata Banerjee, the Bengal Chief Minister, has come out and clearly opposed and made her opposition clear to Udhyanidhi Stalin's characterization of Sanatan Dharma. So should Udhyanidhi Stalin apologize for insulting Hindus? But first, the story.
I spoke only about the Sanatan, the practices that they are following. I will definitely stand against it, and I will face any illegal activities, action, and I will never step back from whatever I said.
सनातन धर्म को यानी हिंदू धर्म को एक प्रतियोगिता की तरफ गाली देने में, कोसने में, अपमानित करने में, जैसे मानो एक कंपटीशन शुरू हो गया है।
मैं बहुत विनम्रता से इस घमंडिया गठबंधन को सावधान करना चाहूंगा। अपनी राजनीति के लिए आपको जो करना है करिए, लेकिन हिंदू विरोधी एजेंडा लेकर के चलेंगे तो देश के बहुत बड़े गुस्से का आपको फल भुगतना पड़ेगा।
भारतीय के तौर पे आपको कह सकता हूं कि सनातन परंपरा भारत की संस्कृति का हिस्सा है और वो युग युगांतर तक रहेगा।
As this stand is by the DMK party. DMK as a party, every party has the right to have their stand.
वो उनकी व्यक्तिगत राय होगी, हम उससे सहमत हैं। Any religion which does not give you equal rights, does not treat you like humans, is not a religion. So it's as good as a disease.
We should not involve in any matter which may hurt any section of people.
हमको सभी धर्म का सम्मान करना चाहिए और किसी के धर्म के बारे में किसी को टिप्पणी करने की आवश्यकता नहीं है, बिल्कुल नहीं करना चाहिए, इस बात से बचना चाहिए।
So let's get you an overview of what is it that Udhyanidhi Stalin said and how the BJP and other parties have been countering that or reacting to that. Now, first of all, this is what Udhyanidhi Stalin said, that Sanatan Dharma is like dengue and malaria. It was bad enough that he said it has to be eradicated and can't just be opposed, but he compared it to diseases like dengue and malaria. It has, of course, exposed the India bloc. That is the BJP's contention that certain parties within the India bloc are opposed to it, and some, of course, like the Congress, are supporting what he has said. He also went on to say that Sanatan Dharma opposes equality, basis the caste division and the caste system. He says it is opposed to all men and women are created equal. The BJP has torn into that by saying that Udhayanidhi is ranting out of frustration. Also, Udhayanidhi went on to say that Sanatan Dharma is responsible for social evils like the caste system and the social evils that are derived thereof. The BJP has countered that by saying that the DMK should rename its party to that of Pakistan. Udhayanidhi also went on to say that Sanatan Dharma cannot just be opposed, it has to be eradicated. That was in reference to the title of the conference that he was attending. the BJP saying that these remarks show the DMK's malicious ideology. Udhayanidhi also said that he's ready to face any legal challenge and that he didn't call for the genocide of any section of society. The BJP has responded by saying that this is exactly what he said, that he wants 80% of the population of India to be wiped out. So this is the intense sort of chain of reactions that Udhayanidhi Stalin's comments have set off, not just within the India alliance, but also in the wider political spectrum. But remember, this is not the first time that the DMK or members of the DMK have taken very anti-Hindu line or anti-Hindu positions. They've made derogatory statements against Hinduism in the past as well. In September 2022, A. Raja had said that you're an untouchable till you are a Hindu, meaning that if you have to escape from untouchability, you have to leave the Hindu faith. MK Stalin, the chief minister, in February 2019 had said even Brahmin priests cannot understand Sanskrit shlokas. This, of course, in opposition to use of Sanskrit for shlokas and mantras in temples across Tamil Nadu. He had also said that smoke from the yajnas that are performed at marriage ceremonies even make the bride and groom cry, and that people are sitting and watching on chairs, whereas the bride and groom are sitting on the floor. His father, the late Karunanidhi, in July of 2009 had said that he will remain a critic of the Ramayana all his life. He was, of course, opposed to this whole Ram Setu idea, and this was, of course, in connection with the Setu Samuttram project. Karunanidhi had also said in 2007 that even Valmiki, the author of Ramayana, had said that Ram was a drunkard. So clearly, the DMK and very senior leaders in the DMK have made not so charitable remarks about Hinduism, about the Hindu faith. So Udhayanidhi's comments need to be seen in that light. But what this has done, and this is perhaps the political cost of this, this has firmly exposed the divisions within the India alliance, and that too just a few days after this Mumbai meeting where 20-odd parties met. Now the Congress, there is divided opinion within the Congress. While K.C. Venugopal said, we respect everybody's views, people like Kamal Nath have opposed it. The Shiv Sena Uddhav Thackeray faction has come out and unequivocally condemned what Udhayanidhi Stalin has said. The Aam Aadmi Party has deflected, saying they don't need to learn about Hinduism from the BJP. The TMC has also come out and expressed its deep displeasure and its dissatisfaction on Udhayanidhi Stalin's statement. The RJD has also condemned it, saying that no one should, insult another person's religion. The CPI, D. Raja, has come out and backed Udhayanidhi Stalin for saying what he did. So clearly, there is a political fallout, but more importantly, is Udhayanidhi Stalin completely wrong prima facie on merit when he criticized Sanatan Dharma and equated Sanatan Dharma to just the caste system, which according to him is something, an evil that needs to be eradicated and not just opposed. R.P. Singh is national spokesperson of the BJP. Kasturi Shankar, actor, now joining us. Kovai Satyan is spokesperson of the I.N.D.I.A. George Kurian is a political analyst, and Suman C. Raman, also a political analyst. R.P. Singh, Udhayanidhi Stalin is not backing down. He's saying he will deal with it legally if cases are filed against him. He will deal with it politically. He will go to the people of Tamil Nadu. He is saying that all he said was opposing caste discrimination, which according to him is Sanatan Dharma, and that's why he's saying that it needs to be eradicated. How are you going to counter this?
Zaka, what was the seminar on? It was an eradication of Sanatana, and he spoke on that. It was not off the cuff one-off remarks. It was a thought of process, which was, as per the process which was given on a stage, and I am saying with complete confidence that this was part of the Mumbai agenda, one of the Mumbai agenda, hidden agenda in Mumbai, that let's go back and do this, and that's how Stalin was assigned for this, that you have to go this and do in your state, and then we'll divide the society into castes and we'll talk about all this. And what are they talking about? Who was Valmiki ji? Valmiki ji was Shudra. And he was the one who wrote the Ramayana, but they are questioning Ramayana itself. They are questioning Sanatana itself. Now let me give you a little bifurcation of how do the caste system works in Tamil Nadu itself. In southern Tamil Nadu, they go to Palaras, Dalits for vote and they seek vote on their name. In northern, they go to Vanayars and talk about Vanayars. They don't talk about Palaras there. In western, they talk about Gondars, and then in central, they talk about Thewas. I mean, I will send you details of their speeches. How do they go and give speeches? Asking vote on caste.
Okay.
But when it suits them, but here they have to build up a national debate, and then for a reason, and then immediately after his speech, Mr. Kartik Chidambaram came in support, which shows that it was a pre-planned thing. Otherwise, why would Kartik Chidambaram come in support and said, yes, whatever he said is right. Even K.C. Venugopal said whatever he said is right. And I was just going through what you were saying, that which party has said so. Give me a second. Which party has said has said what in context to this? I told you what K.C. Venugopal and Kartik Chidambaram. You said about Kamal Nath. Kamal Nath is saying so because he is looking for vote bank. He is the same Kamal Nath who said, हमें last election said, हमें मुसलमानों के वोट चाहिए, हमें मुसलमान इकट्ठे करने हैं. अगर मुसलमान हमारे साथ हो जाएंगे तो हम चुनाव जीत जाएंगे. This was Kamal Nath's statement, which is sting operation, which is in social media and was run on various channels. Another second.
Sir, let me open this up to other guests also. Let me open this up to other guests also. Kasturi Shankar is joining us. Kasturi Shankar, the problem is nowhere in Sanatan Dharma, at least the term Sanatan Dharma, is there any mention of caste discrimination or untouchability or anything of that sort? The word Sanatan means eternal, and the word Dharma, of course, means law or philosophy. It started first being used in the Bhagavad Gita, and it simply refers to the knowledge of the soul, which is eternal. Why should that be a problem to the DMK and to Mr. Udhayanidhi Stalin? He's not backing down from what he is saying. He's saying, I stick by what I'm saying, I'll face the legal consequences. Is this a complete misinterpretation / ignorance, or is this deliberate, as the BJP is saying, because they want to stoke caste divisions?
Yes, the DMK historically has benefited, and its entire political career has been based on dividing the people of Tamil Nadu, playing a lot of demagoguery, identifying a vulnerable minority and victimizing them, making them the, can you please close the door, please? Making them the target, so to speak, of all the evils that plague society, and then promising to get rid of them. I talk about the Brahmins who form a micro minority in Tamil Nadu, and DMK and its parent organization DK and its great leader Periyar, they were very vocal about Brahmin eradication, but they very beautifully couched it and said, we are not opposed to Brahmins, we are opposed to Brahminism. It is the same kind of code that we are hearing today. Sanatana for them, for DMK, Sanatana, especially for Udhayanidhi and the surrogate organizations that organize the Sanatana Eradication Conclave, it is a code for BJP. It is a code for anybody who is Hindu and right-wing. It is a code for anyone who may not have any complaints with Brahminism or with Brahmins, right? So when he said Sanatana, he didn't expect such a big outrage, such a big backlash, because he didn't think it was going to be equated with Hinduism. He thought everybody
one second. Here's where I differ. If he made this mistake without understanding what the word Sanatan Dharma means or what its connotations are, one second, and didn't expect this kind of backlash, surely when the backlash happened, he could have climbed down and said, okay, I didn't understand this fully, I'm sorry, I apologize, or I withdraw my comments. No, he is doubling down. What does that mean? Why is he doubling down?
Zaka, he has stepped down. If you notice, yesterday, a couple of days ago, he was talking on stage and he said, Sanatam is dengue, corona, it has to be completely destroyed, eradicated, right? But now he says, I'm not talking about genocide. I'm not talking about Hindus at all. I'm not talking even about people who are part of the Dharma. I'm only talking about caste discrimination, sati, all these, ills that plague the Sanatani
No,
society.
one second. Let me ask Sumansi Raman. Do you get that impression? Let me go across to our wall here. Sumansi Raman, do you get the impression from whatever's happened in the last 2 or 3 days that Udhayanidhi Stalin or the DMK are backing down or clarifying or trying to clarify from what he said on Saturday, or are they doubling down? Because I don't get the sense that he's trying to play it down, or he's trying to clarify. So please explain to our viewers what is the sense that you have got from what he said. And B, I'm coming back to the question that I asked Kasturi Shankar. 95% of the population of Tamil Nadu is deeply religious and deeply Hindu. Why would any politician alienate that entire majority community? It makes no sense.
Okay, Zaka, you asked quite a few questions. Let me first agree with you. I don't see him as having, climbed down from his original statement. In fact, he has said, I stick to what I said. He has not at any point of time expressed regret or, though he has given an explanation, but that by no means is a climb down in my opinion. The second point is that the damage that this is going to do is not to the DMK. The DMK has this is not the first time that a representative from the DMK or a senior leader has been speaking like this. Eradication of Sanatana Dharma has been what they have been speaking about for decades, not even years. So this is not a surprise, and they know their vote bank in Tamil Nadu, and therefore, this is not going to impact their vote bank at all. If anything, it may help solidify that vote bank by appealing to their to the fringe elements within their ideological network. So they know that the damage is going to be
one second.
by the
Suman, no. What I want to understand is, when you say it will consolidate their vote bank, the DMK's vote bank is not an irreligious vote bank. The DMK as an ideology may believe in rationalism, may believe in, not believing in gods, etc. Not believing in religion. But their vote bank, the people who vote for the DMK, are extremely religious too. So why would the heir apparent of that party insult his own people, his own voters?
See, Zaka, I think we have to understand the political dynamics of Tamil Nadu. The DMK has a core vote base of around 35 to 40%, and that 35% of that vote bank, 15% is minority. The minorities vote overwhelmingly for the DMK, and they are the reason why the DMK is in power. This is not me saying it. The DMK themselves, leaders have themselves acknowledged at meetings that we are in power only because of you. So therefore, they feel that this is not going to affect their core vote bank. Is also made up of devout Hindus, but they are politically affiliated cadre of the party. So therefore, they feel that this is not going to cause much of damage to their vote bank.
Okay.
Where it will cause damage is outside Tamil Nadu, and that who will face the heat? The Congress will face the heat, and I think the Congress has blundered today by not categorically distancing themselves from this statement. By the wishy-washy statement that K.C. Venugopal made, I think that they are digging a hole for themselves.
So let me ask Kovai Satyan, as Sumant was saying, in Tamil Nadu, this is not creating the kind of fires that it seemed to be creating in the rest of India on Twitter, etc. Yes, the BJP has opposed it. I believe the AIDMK, at least your leader EPS, has not said anything yet. We will see if he does officially put out a statement. But it's not like buses are getting burnt and people are outraged and, the whole state has come to a standstill. Why is that? I mean, if Udhayanidhi Stalin has insulted 90% of the population of that state by saying what he said, then why aren't you seeing on ground the kind of groundswell of emotion that you would expect if, let's say, somebody said this in North India?
Yeah, Zaka, I'm surprised that many of them are missing the larger picture. The behavior and act of Udhayanidhi Stalin in the recent days are a resultant of his father's desperation. MK Stalin is desperate to elevate his son to a leader status, So all the tried and tested methods of Karunanidhi, Stalin, which has given some results, is being thrusted upon Udhayanidhi. He is just a puppet in the hands of few who are trying to set a narrative and elevate him as a leader. And this is not the first time DK and DMK people have insulted the majority community out in open. It has happened many an occasion. To quote a few, the biggest scapegoats are the Brahmins. The grandfather Karunanidhi coined the term, if you see a snake under Brahmin, hit the Brahmin first, not the snake. So Tamil Nadu has seen and have witnessed many such events, many such statements. So Udhayanidhi's statement is not something new. And even a common man in Tamil Nadu know that Udhayanidhi doesn't have that intelligence and acumen to talk about philosophy or talk about Sanatan Dharma or talk about any beliefs and rituals in a particular Hindu community. He doesn't have that with him. But it is a desperation of MK Stalin who wants to elevate his son as a leader so that the baton can be passed on to him. These kinds of incidences are happening. The person who said he knows the secret to get away with NEET, the first signature will be the NEET. Now, after 2.5 years, he is inviting AIADMK and asking us to lead and asking us to take the credit after the protest. And he suddenly says that let's go for a hunger fast to get away with NEET. And the comments on this Hindu Sanatan Dharma on an event hosted by DK, Dravidian Kalagam, which is an atheist wing, shows that he is being directed by someone who is desperate to push him and elevate him as a leader, acceptable by the majority of the Tamilians.
So let me ask George Kurian. George Kurian, I think Sumant made this point that, DMK may or may not be politically affected by what Udhayanidhi said, at least the damage will not be as much. The party that will get affected the most is the Congress party, because you have to fight elections in Kerala, in Andhra Pradesh, in Telangana, in Karnataka, and you have majority community voters in all of these states, in Uttar Pradesh, in Bihar. And in today's day and age, where you have television media, social media, these comments have been plastered across television channels, newspapers, social media for the last 24 plus hours. And this is going to cost the Congress party. Why has the Congress party not taken a firm stand against what Udhayanidhi Stalin said?
Well, Zaka, before I come to your question, let me wish your audience a very good evening, and to my fellow co-panelists on the show. Let me first begin by saying that I completely condemn in the harshest of words the statement that has come from Udhayanidhi Stalin and Priyank Kharge endorsing the statement which has come from Stalin. This is something which is uncalled for and has to be unequivocally condemned by all and everyone. To begin with. Second point I would like to make here is that I agree to Mr. Sumanji's views here that this is not going to make much of a difference to DMK as far as the state politics is concerned in Karnataka, in Tamil Nadu. But overall, the India alliance, which is trying to make all that good from that Mumbai meeting that they had in the recent past, it is damaging that hope and the aspirations that they were trying to build up with all the good hope among the people. So this statement, and the Congress party has condemned this statement, and it's not that the Congress party has not condemned. KC Venugopal has given a statement on this. Mr. Randeep Singh.
No, George, one second. George, I can play out what KC Venugopal said. He simply said everybody is entitled to their views. We may or may not agree with those views. I don't see any sort of condemnation there. It just simply says everybody is entitled to their views. What does that even mean? Where is the condemnation there?
Well,
Priyank Kharge almost endorsed it.
Yeah, Priyank Kharge also said if a person is untouchable in a religion, then what good is that religion? You have to come out of that religion. That's what he said.
Well, Zaka, let me make it very clear to the audience that there is not much importance that one needs to give to Priyank Kharge for that matter, because this is a statement which is his personal statement that he has made, nothing to do with it's not an endorsement from the India alliance, because we are trying to fight hard the BJP.
George, that's a little hard. That's a little hard for our viewers to digest, certainly for me to digest, because you're not talking about anybody here, and RP Singh can weigh in on this. This is the son of the Congress president and a minister in the Karnataka government. Just like Udhyanidhi is the son of the sitting chief minister of Tamil Nadu and a minister in that government. These are not anybody's. These are not, random sundries who are saying this. These are very, very powerful people who are saying this. RP Singh, yeah.
Sir, ask him that let Janeudhari Rahul Gandhi issue a statement on this. Let Priyanka Vadra, who claims herself to be a Kashmiri Pandit, let both of them come and stand on this. What they have to say on Sanatan Dharma. But they want Sanatan Dharma to be eradicated. And what's their idea of Sanatan Dharma? Let them come also on this. I'm sorry, sir. I mean, you rightly said, someone rightly said that man does. Sir, please give me a second. I never interrupted anyone. Sir, they are not aware of the Indian ethos, Indian culture, Indian religion, Indian text. Man, there is a Dravidian Upanishad which was there in 13th century. And then Periyar took Dravidian name and then has given a separate ideology to it, which is anti-Dravidian Upanishad. But no one will talk about that. But let's talk about this issue today and on hand. I am again saying it. I am repeating it, that it was part of the conspiracy, it was part of the agenda which was decided in Mumbai. Otherwise, they would have all come up in open. I mean, where was Lalu Yadav who went for Siddhivinayak in Mumbai? Where is Uddhav Thackeray? I mean, by now he should have walked out of the I.N.D.I.A alliance. I said, I'm nothing doing. I can't be part of the I.N.D.I.A alliance with this statement until he withdraws statement. He has not said so. He will not say so. And where? And give me a second. And where is that Arvind Kejriwal who talks about Hanuman Chalisa? He said, I recite Hanuman Chalisa. Not a word by Arvind Kejriwal on Sanatan Dharma. So this is all part of the alliance, and then they are playing it as per their.
Let me play a chunk of a series of bite belts of leaders of the Congress party, and you will get a sense of where the Congress party is standing on this. Other than individual leaders like a Kamal Nath, for example, or a T.S. Singh Dio, and incidentally both of them are facing elections in North India in the next couple of months. Other than them, I have not seen any kind of unequivocal condemnation of this from any leader of the Congress party. Let me just play this out and I'll go back to our guests.
वो उनकी व्यक्तिगत राय होगी, हम उससे सहमत नहीं. Any religion that does not ensure that you have the dignity of being a human being is not a religion according to me. So it's as good as a disease.
देखिए, सनातन धर्म, सनातन परंपरा भारत की संस्कृति का हिस्सा है. शायद भाषा की भावना को ना समझते हुए किसी व्यक्ति ने कहा होगा, मुझे जानकारी नहीं, पर मैं एक भारतीय के तौर पे आपको कह सकता हूं कि सनातन परंपरा भारत की संस्कृति का हिस्सा है और वो युग युगांतर तक रहेगा.
एक्चुअली हमारा व्यू वेरी क्लियर है. सर्वधर्म समभावना. Sarvadharma Sambhavana is the Congress ideology. But you have to understand, every political party have their own freedom to tell their views. We are respecting everybody's beliefs.
Does that sound like a condemnation to you, Sumant Raman? I mean, from whatever, again, I'm not a Sanskrit expert, but from whatever he said, Sarva Dharm Samabhav means just everyone is treated equally, or everyone is treated, equitably, every person of every faith.
Respect for all religions.
That does not mean that you can insult one religion. That is the point that's being made. Sumant.
I think Mr. T.S. Singh Dio and Kamal Nath have smelt the coffee. They are facing the heat. They are facing the election within the next 2 to 3 months, and therefore they were very quick to distance themselves from the statement and say that very clearly that they don't agree with it. Those who are not, in the firing line of facing elections, to be, pontificating on this. See, I can understand Mr. Karti Chidambaram's statement. He is saying it because without the DMK support, it's even unlikely that he may even not get a ticket to contest, or even if he does get a ticket, is extremely unlikely to even save his deposit without the DMK support. So for him to say something like that, I can at least rationalize why he's saying what he's saying. But for the Congress High Command to just, make these kind of wishy-washy statements, it doesn't help them at all. If the BJP is going ballistic on this, Mr. Amit Shah spoke in his rally, Mr. Rajnath Singh spoke on his rally. I mean, Mr. Rajnath Singh is not known necessarily to take up these core Hindutva issues and go hammer and tongs at the opposition. He spoke about it. Mrs. Nirmala Sitaraman has put it out on Twitter. So they've all sort of run an orchestrated campaign because they feel that this may resonate on the ground, at least in the northern belt. It's not going to resonate in south, that we know. But in the Hindi belt, this may resonate. And you will see recurring references to this during the election campaign.
Okay.
And that is going to hurt the Congress. The Congress still has time to come out with an unequivocal condemnation and distancing themselves. Different parties, sorry, Zaka, last sentence. Different parties have different ideologies. This may be the ideology of the DMK. We don't agree with it, is all that the Congress has to say, and they haven't said it yet.
The other problem is, and I want to ask Kasturi Shankar this, no one is justifying it for a moment, but when Nupur Sharma said what she said about Prophet Muhammad, the entire world was out to get her. There were fatwas issued against her. In fact, she's not been seen publicly at events or on television since then. Like I said, no one's trying to justify what she said or defend what she said. But here again, you have a person who has seemingly insulted a religion, the majority religion of this country. No one has issued any fatwas against Udhayanidhi Stalin. He's going about his business. He's not fearing for his life. And therein lies again another double standard.
Yeah, I think that is what Sanatana Dharma stands for. Sanatana Dharma stands for one of the basic tenets of Sanatana Dharma is inclusivity and forgiveness. That seems to be working against the majority at this point because people who don't know the first basic thing about Sanatana Dharma go on stage and insult it and vow to eradicate it. And, here we have to bring in what Mr. Kharge Jr., Mr. Priyank Kharge said about any religion that does not allow dignity for a human being. Zaka, with all respect to all Christians, we have in India today Dalit Christians, Christian Reddis, Christian Nadars, who have all steadfastly retained their caste, not because of a conversion or not because of religious reasons, but purely because of political and reservation reasons. Right? So these are people who are proud of their caste. So it is obvious that religion and caste cannot be equated with each other in India. The caste is a different beast and it has to be dealt with differently. And to equate just Hinduism with caste is making a mockery of that system. It exhibits a complete deliberate ignorance, deliberate rejection of the fact that caste exists well and thrives in other minority religions as well.
But let me ask.
Give me one moment. DMK, when it came to power, DMK, when it attracted the people in the 60s, it was a different animal. There was Anna there. Anna succeeded in defining Dravidian. They defined a new word, Dravidian. From being a geographical, locational factor, Dravidian became a race. Dravidian became an ideology. They defined a word and reinterpreted it. Now they are trying to reinterpret the word Sanatana. It's not working. Before, they did not have. I think it's going to benefit, I disagree with Sumant Raman. I think it's going to benefit BJP, which really never had a foothold in Tamil Nadu. Nobody really cared for it. It got less than nota. But now people are going to turn to it because ADMK with Satyanji, if ADMK is not going to come out strongly and visibly against this kind of blasphemy, BJP is going to be the benefactor.
So that's exactly what I wanted to ask Ovai Satyan. I mean, in the normal course of things, this would have been so outrageous that, you as an opposition party, your cadre would have been out on the streets, right? And yet, I haven't seen any protests or any mass protests in Tamil Nadu, in the last 24 to 48 hours since these comments came out. Perhaps there were more protests outside of Tamil Nadu than in Tamil Nadu itself. So even in Tamil Nadu, it seems like opposition parties like yourself are also not willing to go full throttle against what Udhayanidhi said for some reason.
No big reason. We don't want to make somebody a hero overnight. That is their narrative which they want to drive upon. They want to portray Udhayanidhi as a mass leader and a hero, and you can't fall prey for their evil intent. And everybody in Tamil Nadu knows Udhayanidhi doesn't have that caliber to talk on all these things. He has already failed. He said, I know the secret to get away with need. Whatever promises they made, they failed and they are not able to fulfill it. So they don't have a credibility in the minds of the people. Why you want to make a mole out of a mountain, or why you want to make a mountain out of a mole?
Okay.
You have no use. See, let me tell you, Zaka, one more point, 10 seconds. We live in this unique world in India wherein a person who called himself as Kaul Brahman, Rahul Gandhi, was saying that he has taken cookery classes of cooking meat from Lalu Prasad Yadav. And there is no outrage, there is no approach. Nobody talked about it. You draw parallels between fatwa and the statement of Udhayanidhi. This statement, we have seen much more harsher statements from DK, Dravidian Kazhagam, which is the parent body. They said, we will slipper the God. We don't believe in God, we will slipper the God. We have seen, in Tamil Nadu has seen and heard more harsh statements than this. If Udhayanidhi want to become a hero, let him choose the right way to become a hero by addressing the voice of the voiceless and standing on the road to fight for the people rather than hurting the sentiments of majority.
Quick rebuttal and then Sumant, quick rebuttal. Then George Kurian, I got to go to him for the final comment.
Zaka, I think that
seconds,
the AIA-DMK by its silence, the AIA-DMK has also sort of ceded space to the BJP. This was an opportunity for them to come out and at least come out, for EPS to come out with at least a categorical statement denouncing this of what Udhayanidhi said. After all, the AIA-DMK is meant to oppose the DMK.
Correct.
If they are going to be ambivalent on that, then why people would have to think twice about whether they should be voting for the AIA-DMK at all.
George Kurian, 2 days after this got said, 2 days after the Mumbai Alliance meeting, and now we see Shiv Sena, even the RJD, which was surprisingly, the RJD has taken a position against what Udhayanidhi has said. Mamata Banerjee has taken a position against what Udhayanidhi said. Congress, of course, has been wishy-washy. What it has done is it has thrown open divisions within this alliance almost threadbare. What was the point of the Mumbai meeting if in 2 days all that unity has dissipated over one comment?
Well, Zaka, let me respectfully disagree to Mr. R.P. Singh on the show. Kasturi and Kovai, I fully disagree to their remarks and the statements that they made on the show about the Congress party going soft on the entire statements made by Udhayanidhi. Let me also make, having said that, let me also say that India Alliance group has the media group, and they should have come up with a strong condemning the statements made by Udhayanidhi to begin with, because this is nothing but giving the extra mileage and exploding the political mileage BJP is garnering out of it. So in the run-up to 2024 elections, so I strongly believe that Ranjit Singh Surjewala has clarified that Sanatan Dharma will exist till the world exists. So there is no question of cornering Congress party on this front.
Okay, R.P. Singh, final word.
Well, from Swami Prasad Moria to Udhayanidhi Stalin, it's a game plan to break Hindu society, one. Secondly, Mr. Udhayanidhi is not aware that Sanatana is not a religion. Sanatan is a dharma, is way of life, which incorporates also those who don't believe. I mean, those who don't believe in idol worship or any sort of worship also. Non-believers are also Sanatani. I mean, as per me, even Udhayanidhi, if he goes to his roots, he is also Sanatani. But again, for political objectives, he is doing it and again repeating it with a thirst that it is part of the I.N.D.I.A. agenda, a hidden agenda, which you will see in coming days, coming again and again in various other ways and other forms.
We've got to leave it at that. We'll see how the story plays out. Like I said, the impact of this perhaps would be felt far more outside of Tamil Nadu than in Tamil Nadu itself. We'll see how the story plays out. Udhayanidhi Stalin for the moment is not backing off from his comments, and the BJP, of course, is piling on the pressure on him and thereby exposing some chinks in the armor of the India Alliance. But joining us now on the broadcast is Dr. Tamilisai Soundararajan. She's the Governor of Telangana. Thank you very much, ma'am, for speaking with us. Mr. Udhayanidhi Stalin, the son of MK Stalin, also minister in the Tamil Nadu government, has said that Sanatan Dharma is like mosquitoes, dengue and corona. It has to be eradicated, not just opposed. There is no other way to control or contain it. What is your response, ma'am, to what he has said?
It's highly mischievous, poisonous comment. And when he attended the conference, he is appreciating the people for telling that it is Sanatan eradication conference. It is not opposing. He is frankly saying that it's good thing you coined the name as to eradicate, to abolish Sanatan Dharma. So it is highly mischievous and highly poisonous, and he want to appease one section of the people, and he want to insult the major section of the people. And when he says like that, he is thinking that only Sanatan Dharma is misinterpreting Sanatan Dharma as caste discrimination. He could have talked about caste and caste discrimination any volumes. We are not opposing that. But why he is coining the Sanatan Dharma and correlating it with the caste discrimination as he is giving his explanation? So it is highly mischievous. He should apologize. And another thing I want to tell.
Yeah.
They are talking about discrimination, but they are discriminating the Hindus. His father doesn't wish the Hindus of Tamil Nadu for Deepavali, for Krishna Jayanti, for even Vinayagar Chaturthi. No Hindu festival we get the wishes from the Honorable Chief Minister. He is not the president of a party, he is Chief Minister of a particular state, where all sections of the people are celebrating different festivals. They are discriminating.
But ma'am,
they are discriminating between sections of the people, and he.
Udhayanidhi, though, has continued to stick to his statement. He is saying that he did not speak against any particular religion, that he only spoke against the caste system. He didn't call for any genocide of any people belonging to any particular faith. He says he's ready to face legal and political action. He's also saying that he did not, like I said, call for the ethnic cleansing or the genocide of any particular community. If this was accidentally said and he was remorseful about it, he could have backed down and said, you know, my comments are being played out of context, or my comments have been misinterpreted, or I did not fully understand what I was saying. But the fact that he is doubling down, the fact that he is putting his foot down on what he said, standing by what he said, that seems to indicate that there is a larger political purpose. What may that be? What is he trying to do by not only saying what he said, but sticking to what he said?
No, why then? What is the meaning of eliminating? What is the meaning of abolishing? What is the meaning of like mosquitoes, we will crush it? What is the meaning of that? He himself saying that good thing you did not coin the name as opposing Sanatan Dharma. You have coined the name as eliminating, abolishing Sanatan Dharma. So he is giving explanation there. So what is the meaning of that? He is comparing the word mukt with abolishing. Mukt is just we want to be getting free from it. He is not telling like that. And another thing, if he is talking about only caste system, he would have talked about caste system. Why he is talking about Sanatan Dharma? So he don't know anything. It's a disciplined way of life. Nobody can abolish Sanatan Dharma. But he is talking about that means he is ignorant, not only mischievous. And they want to appease certain section of the people. And he is telling, in one of the meeting, he is telling, I am a proud Christian. And he is getting claps for that. And when a person with different religious hope insulting another ideology where major section of the people are following, what is this democracy?
So, ma'am,
the minister.
How is it though that in Tamil Nadu, the response to Udhayanidhi's statement, so far only the BJP has come out and unequivocally opposed it and condemned it. No other political party, not even the A.D.M.K. We've not heard from their leader EPS. A.D.M.K. is an alliance partner of the BJP. Even they have not come out and outright opposed what Udhayanidhi has said. The feeling seems to be that in Tamil Nadu, this is par for course. This will not hurt the DMK, this will not hurt the DMK vote bank, and that if at all there's going to be any impact, it's going to be outside of Tamil Nadu and not in that state.
No, actually, I don't want to answer this politically, but I just saw in the media, some of the ADMK leaders have also opposed it. But I cannot politically saying that because this leader has conveyed their remarks, I cannot say that. But not only BJP, all the people who are practicing the ideology, the Sanatan Dharma, they are boiling. You should see the social media. People can convey only in that platform. They cannot come out openly. But in the social media, people are boiling. People are condemning. They are showing their views against Udhayanidhi. So this is there is a very big turmoil between the people, among the people, and the people are boiling. The blood is boiling. That's all I can say.
Dr. Tamilisai Soundarajan, thank you very much for speaking with us here on Brass Tacks. We'll see how the story plays out in Tamil Nadu and indeed the rest of India. Talking about the rest of India, Delhi is all set to, of course, host the two-day G20 Summit. It's going to happen this coming weekend on the 9th and 10th of September. In fact, we have various heads of states from the US President Joe Biden, the UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak, the Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. All of them will be touching down in the next few days. They are all scheduled to visit for this mega conference. Russian President Vladimir Putin will be sending his Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov, whereas the Chinese President Xi Jinping is not coming to the summit, and instead the Chinese Premier Li Qiang may fill in for him. Meanwhile, as a prelude to the G20, Prime Minister Modi, in an exclusive interview to PTI, has highlighted the mission to make India a developed country by 2047, projecting India's ascent to becoming the world's third largest economy. We're now getting you ground reports from across Delhi on how preparations are being made for the big G20 summit.
India gets ready to welcome its delegates, and as the VVIPs who will start to come to the national capital, the first impression will be made here at the VVIP lounges of the airport. The visuals that you are seeing on your screens right now are also a mock drill that is being carried out by the Delhi police today to make sure that this entire position is in place. Each and every person of the Delhi police knows as to where they have to stay, because the security is under the Delhi police of this entire area. The bike that you saw on your screens right now, this was the warning bike, and as the bike has left, it will give an indication to the entire security parameter of the Delhi airport, which would eventually mean that each and every vehicle which is traveling towards the Delhi airport or going from the Delhi airport to the national capital, all those vehicles would be stopped, and a green corridor would be set up for each and every VVIP who would leave from here. This is how the cavalcade will leave from the international airport. Once the cavalcade starts to leave, the VVIPs will start to enter and sit in these vehicles, and once they sit in these vehicles, the cavalcades will start to leave from this location. As you can see on your screens right now as well, there is ample security arrangements that has been made along this entire route. In fact, I like to show you that since this is going to be the first location where the first impression will be made and the lasting impression will be made, and hence the first impression will be made through the Indian culture.
So what exactly is the preparation as far as security and commuting in Delhi is concerned? From the 8th till the 10th, when the G20 summit is on, metro could be your main mode of transport. But what exactly should you watch out for as far as metro gates are concerned? These are the metro station gates which will be closed to commuters. The Supreme Court metro station is right opposite the venue of the summit meeting, and therefore that will be shut. Moti Bagh, again crucial, because a lot of hotels where dignitaries will be staying, so that will be taken care of by the Moti Bagh metro station. Avoid that. Bhikaji Kama Place, again a significant metro station whose gates will be shut. Munirka in South Delhi, and the RK Puram area. So Munirka, RK Puram, Moti Bagh, IIT, all the way which leads to Dhola Kuan. These are areas where metro station gates will be closed down. The Sadar Bazaar cantonment area, again for the same reason. These are areas which will have hotels where the dignitaries are staying, and therefore if you are taking these metros, avoid particular gates which have been notified by the Delhi police, the traffic police. If you're taking the road route, what is it that you should keep in mind? There are regulated zones that have been put in place. There is traffic advisory by the Delhi police. The entire area of Delhi have been divided into regulated zone, into control zone. What is allowed, what is not allowed. In the regulated zone, if you're a bona fide resident, you are allowed to move about. There are specific passes that have been issued as well to people who need to travel around. If you're going to the airport or the railway station, and if you have a genuine ticket, you will be allowed to move about. But be just prepared to have enough time at hand if you're going to the airport or the railway station. Authorized and emergency vehicles will also be allowed to move in the regulated zones. For as far as the second zone is concerned, which is the control zone, again, if you're a bona fide resident living in a control zone, you will be allowed to move in. Emergency vehicles, authorized vehicles will be allowed to move in as well. Delhi Police has assured that no essential service vehicle will be stopped in the area where the specific focus will be the DDU Marg, the Vikas Marg area till Noida Link Road, Pusta Road. You should be aware that these are areas which are in high security zone. The Mahatma Gandhi Marg from Delhi Meerut Expressway all the way up to Kashmiri Gate. This is an area which you should watch out for. Jawaharlal Nehru Marg from Rajghat to Guru Nanak Chowk. Rajghat is also a venue where the delegates could go to pay their respect to Mahatma Gandhi. So again, a no-go area. From Turkman Gate to the BSZ Marg, that is also a road which is seeing closure. The Ranjit Singh Marg from Barakhamba to the Guru Nanak Chowk. This Ranjit Singh Marg will be kept in high security zone. The IP flyover, the Shantivan Chowk, the Kashmiri Gate area and the Shalimar Garh bypass. So this is an area, again, like I said, 3 parts have been made: the regulated zone, the control zone 1 and control zone 2. So if you're planning to move about through these routes on the 8th, 9th or 10th, from the morning 5 a.m. of 8th till midnight of 10th, you should keep this traffic advisory by Delhi Police in mind.
As India prepares to host the world at the New Delhi G20 Summit, CNN News 18 Town Hall is bringing together the brightest minds to dissect the country's role as a global leader and toast the nation at this pivotal moment. Tune in to this special event as we discuss Bharat's role in driving the development agenda for one Earth, one family, one future. CNN News 18 Town Hall, September 5th, 6 p.m. onwards.
Presented by of these issues, and they have said that they will push for global and more consensus agenda, and they will support India's G20 presidency as well. In fact, the Russian side has also said that they will rely on the BRICS member countries in case G7 try to push for their agenda. We have also seen Canadian President Justin Trudeau, recently expressing disappointment that Ukrainian President Zelensky is not being invited to G20 summit level talks. India had made it very clear, long time back, that G20 will remain an agenda that will be focused on developmental issues, global issues of finances, climate change, or SDG goals, or women empowerment, or social justice, things that has been the core of G20 grouping, and it will not be given priorities to certain conflicts or the conflict that is happening in one part of the world. And so the security issues is something that G20 has ideally not been discussing, and India did not allow this to become a stage for Ukrainian issues to be discussed. While the after effects of the Russia-Ukraine conflict, like food security, energy security, that will of course remain be a part of major agenda that Indian presidency of G20 is going to discuss around. Prime Minister Modi will also be likely having a dinner hosted for President Biden. We know that recently Prime Minister was in Washington, where the Biden family had hosted a very special dinner as a state guest for Prime Minister Modi. And recently Prime Minister Modi was also in France to attend the Bastille Day as the chief guest of the Bastille Day celebration. And when President Macron will be in Delhi, there could be a possibility that Prime Minister Modi will have something special or some special arrangement for him over a lunch or something. Besides, there will be several bilateral meetings with world leaders. Prime Minister is going to Jakarta on 6th and 7th, where he'll be having a meeting with Indonesian President Joko Widodo. And when the President will be arriving back in Delhi to attend G20 summit level talks, there is scheduled to have a meeting between Prime Minister Modi and the Indonesian President, because Indonesia remains the part of Troika, that is Indonesia, India and Brazil, who will be hosting the G20 summit level talks next year. Lula da Silva will be coming for to represent Brazilian side, the president of Brazil. He just had a meeting on the sidelines of BRICS summit level talks in Johannesburg, also with Prime Minister Modi, and we'll have to see how those meetings will take shape when the frequency of the leaders talk will increase, and how India, Brazil, Indonesia, and other part of the South, global South will become a more stronger voice in the context that they want to have some solid reforms at multilateral platforms around the world, especially in United Nations. So while G20 will remain focused on many agendas of development, issues of multilateral reforms, climate change, global security, food security is something that India is going to push for. Social justice, women empowerment is something also that Prime Minister Modi had talked in the past. We talked about at the G20 Summit level talks. With all the leaders congregating in Delhi, the issues will be discussed, and one can only hope that there will emerge a consensus despite all the differences that the world leaders have had in the recent past, so that the overall progress, overall development of the world does not become hostage of one crisis happening in one part of the world. Delhi is all set to host the G20 Summit level talks when the world leaders will be arriving and discussing about the priorities, challenges, common concerns around the world, especially in the area of development and finances. President Biden of USA will be arriving most likely on 8th of September, and during those 3 days when the leadership from UK, Rishi Sunak will be coming. President Macron is also going to come on Friday most likely, and the leaders are also going to have a bilateral with Prime Minister Modi during the course of 3 days that the event will be taking place. Two presidents, Russian President Vladimir Putin and Chinese President Xi Jinping, is not going to attend the summit level talks. The Russian president has sent Sergei Lavrov, the foreign minister, to represent him, while today the Chinese side have confirmed that Premier Li Qiang will be representing the Chinese delegation at the summit level talks. US President Joe Biden had 2 days ago expressed hope that there will be President Xi Jinping who will be in G20 summit level talks, and probably he was looking for an opportunity to engage with the Chinese side, but now he has expressed some disappointment after he has learned that President Xi Jinping may not be coming to Delhi, and he said that he's disappointed because in the last few months we have seen a regular or frequent engagement being pushed from the US side to have an engagement with China, so that the multiple issues in trade, commerce, finances and defense be dealt with in a more pacified way, and both sides try to engage and understand each other. And we have seen several secretaries, Secretary Blinken, Janet Yellen, recently Secretary of Commerce also went to China. So there has been multiple engagements, and probably US was looking forward to have a small window of opportunity when President Biden could have had a small bilateral with Xi Jinping or the Chinese president. It was not clear whether it was scheduled or not. But we know that with the absence of Vladimir Putin and Chinese President Xi Jinping, it looks like the bloc, the G20, is increasingly divided on the many issues around the world. We have heard Russian Foreign Ministry spokesperson Maria Zakharova clearly saying that the G20 is being dominated by G7 plus grouping and their agenda, and they do not want G20 to become hostage of these issues, and they have said that they will push for global and more consensus agenda, and they will support India's G20 presidency as well. In fact, the Russian side has also said that they will rely on the BRICS member countries.
Hello, Namaskar. This is First Post, and you're watching Vantage with me, Palki Sharma. The countdown has begun. New Delhi is gearing up to host arguably the biggest diplomatic event in its history, the G20 Leaders' Summit. China has finally confirmed today that Xi Jinping will not come. If the idea was to undermine India's presidency, it's a case of China cutting its nose to spite its face. It erodes their already weak relationship with Europe. It undermines Xi Jinping's global standing, and it shows that they put petty politics over the